Hello and welcome to Let's Try. We're trying Voidbreaker. This is a solo dev operation. First and foremost, that seems to me that is really hard to believe. I'll get into why. If we're to believe that, this is an insane achievement from one dev, but this is a run and gun kind of doomy shooty roguey type game. What are genres these days? Yeah, this is a boomer shooter with some roguelite aspects. That's the long and short of it. I'm going to go ahead and give you a disclaimer right now. If you suffer from motion sickness from games, you're probably not going to watch this. You're probably not going to watch this if you have photosensitivity issues. There's a lot of things going on in this, and I really want to make sure you stay safe. I'm going to go ahead and jump into a run. I'm going to do so with the assault rifle. You actually start with the pistol, and the pistol is good. So for fans of the pistol out there, you are well treated in this game. Run 1. This is actually my second run. Your first one is called Run 0. So you are, I don't know, some kind of subject to experiments by some kind of overseer AI. I know that sounds familiar, but I promise you it's a very different look and feel to our favorite robot overlord who's a fan of portals. We are going to be shooting lots of robots in this game, but there's some twists and turns. There's some really cool progression in this game. There's really good gunplay. I really like the gunplay in this game. And there's also some really fun interactions with environmentals. So all of the major, like, I don't know, modern architecture that you see, and it is pretty modern, you know, kind of that generic modern architecture, is destructible. When you make some environments fall on an enemy, they become staggered, and then they'll drop health and ammo. Ammo isn't really important right now because ammo affects like different ammo types, which we don't have any right now. We just have the basic ammo type. But I promise you that the different ammo types are very much game changing. So simply put, it's really fun. It's really fun because it really encourages you to use various environments to your advantage to stagger enemies and then like get some health back and push your luck a little bit. The fact that health is so keenly rewarded means you can kind of like take some damage whenever you want. Destruction will drop burning bombs. Okay, we're gonna take that. I've grown to very much enjoy destruction damage in this. We got a little bit of Sonic Adventure 2 in this. I don't know. Listen, grinding is not exclusive. Oh, ow. It's the first time I've taken damage to those things. We do have the standard kind of roguelike, pick your road and follow it to whatever reward that you want. But at least this game kind of treats it in universe, which I appreciate. We have a double jump and we also have a sprint. These are fairly standard nowadays. It seems like you can't make a boomer shooter without having an air dash and a double jump, and you know, like it's just not gonna fly. We do have one other thing. I'm gonna try and run away here so I don't take too much damage. The other thing we have is we have a kind of a control-esque gravity throw. So we can pick up objects and throw them at enemies, and that'll actually kind of create a cascading event. You might have noticed it like kind of ricochets stuff around. You can throw explosives, and you can also use all of this to stagger enemies, and you'll see here. Wow, the assault rifle takes a long time to reload. Wow, all of that is bad. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna actually go back to the pistol. The reload time on the assault rifle is kind of untenable for me right now, and I was quite enjoying my time with the pistol. That's brutal. I actually beat my first run, or at least beat the demo on my first run, which was kind of nice. It pretty much made me forgive the whole meta progression, which this game does have, and it even has the meta progression I'm not even a huge fan of. The, you know, like you get more health, you get more power-ups, you get all of the things that you basically need to survive. But the fact that the game was forgiving enough, at least the first zone was forgiving enough, that I didn't feel like I needed those things was kind of nice. Although I'm assuming that I'm going to need those things for future zones. Let's get ourselves a bomb. So yeah, you're really going to want to make use of staggering enemies in order to get your health back and in order to get ammo. I really like the enemy attacks. They're fairly novel. There's some pretty cool, like, I don't know, bullet hell-esque moves. That's just so cool, though. Like, the fact that you'll have, like, these big bridges overarching, and then you can, like, blow them up, bring them down, and then blow up some enemies. That is just like really satisfying. And if you get good at that, if you get good at that specific part, then I think everything else kind of falls into place. I mean, yeah, not taking damage is for sure going to get you far in this game, but it's not like the only thing. Like, I feel like a lot of roguelites these days are kind of like, you need to get good at either parrying or dodging, and almost nothing else matters. That's kind of like my perception these days. So it's kind of nice with this game. We're starting from the get-go with the idea that, like, hey, there's a third thing, secret third thing that you can be good at in order to maintain your survival. Let's look at some modifications. The other thing I'm really interested in this game is the modification system. It's actually really cool. So let's have a look at those. We've got heal slightly after cleansing a corruption. I actually don't... I assume cleansing a corruption means shooting a bad guy. I'm not sure. The wording there is a little weird. A projectile that has a short life, fizzling out into a burst of sparks. I mean, this is a legendary perk. I'm probably going to take that, but this one says fires several highly inaccurate projectiles. So this basically turns your pistol into a shotgun. And yeah, I do mean turns your pistol into a shotgun. So basically you only have the one gun. And then you, over the course of your playthrough, will get modifications that not only unlock new slots for modifications, but also modify your gun. They are mostly going to take the form of a secondary ammo type, although not every time. Sometimes they take the form of an extra ability. Sometimes they take the form of an optical sight. But they are all modifying your weapon in some way. Then we have these, I'd say these are fairly also stock standard for roguelike games. Is like, oh, okay, here we have some kind of event, something that's going to complicate the next battle scenario, but if we take this, we'll get an extra reward. Pretty much always take those, at least in this first zone. Everything is very manageable. My death aside, you know what, we'll chalk that up to being an anomaly. So I'm going to set it to my new spark ammo, because since I've gotten... Hey, do I not have my spark mode? Oh, it switched back for some reason. Okay, those are pretty cool. We don't get a lot of them, damn. We do not get a lot of those. But they do some pretty good damage. You really want to keep an eye out for those. When you see those green health bars, that means that those enemies are staggered. Ouch. And sometimes you can get a few in one. Ooh. Let's try and get some environmentals. Nah, that didn't work out. This ammo type is very effective for these air combat dudes, these little drones. But yeah, I think for solo operation, it's kind of insane what is happening here. Like, one person is like designed I would say AAA looking game that plays really well. Like, I've had a fairly flawless experience. I know this is the dev of Entropy Center. If you played that, it was another game, actually, strangely enough, seemed very influenced by Portal in a lot of ways. It was a kind of a first-person gimmick puzzle game, by which I mean, like, you had one mechanic that carried through multiple different puzzles. So we could get an optic, increase damage for a period after dashing. I like this a lot, actually. I got a mod in my first run that was really cool. Maybe I'll get it again. So hold on. Projectile will create copies of itself as it travels. That is interesting. I wonder if we can put that on our spark mod. Let's go over here, and I don't know, can we like put this on that? And then if we go back here, yeah, it's actually modifying the spark breaker. So what happens now? Does it... Yeah, it made little copies of itself. Wow, that's really cool. And we've got an extra thing going on over here. Let's check that out. In my first run, I had a really cool mod that was basically I did extra damage whenever I had an ability on cooldown, which is really cool because, for one thing, it actually got me to use my abilities, which, if you've watched any of my stuff, any of playthroughs of these kind of games, you'll know that I am criminally bad at using active abilities. So since there was an actual incentive outside of the active ability itself, I was actually like, yeah, let's use some active abilities. Let's use them as often as possible. Powerful projectile imbued with fire. And we've got a corrosive shot, and we've got an airflow chip. That's a body mod. So that's, even though we're putting it on our gun, that's actually affecting us. Let me see, are these all, yeah, okay, these are all extra ammo types. The issue here is that these all share the same kind of ammo. So if I use a bunch of this and then switch, you'll see it uses up the same ammo. So you may as well kind of pick one and just use it. Like, I'm sure there's reasons to switch, but it's just as valid to pick a favorite and use that as much as you want. Whoa. Gravity shifts under your... Wow, that's... Oh, wow, that's really cool, actually. It's the first time I've seen that. One thing I will say I'm not a fan of, maybe the only thing. So far, I honestly really like this game. It's damn near flawless for what it is. But the one thing I'm not keen on is the key mapping. The button to pick up items and throw them is the same one you use to switch ammo types. And I just think that that's a little bit clumsy. I find like a lot of the time I'm accidentally opening the ammo screen over picking things up. And that kind of gets me to not pick things up as often because I don't want to see that screen. That being said, there's not really any consequences for me opening up this screen. It's actually only a good thing in a way, because like it just sort of pauses the game for a moment. This low gravity is actually inhibiting my ability to dodge quite a lot. Didn't mean to do that. Didn't mean to do that either. But I love, like, we get these kind of emergent level designs from all of the architecture falling down. It's really cool. Want to pick up as much ammo as I can. The ammo disappears quite quickly, so that's hence why I tend to prioritize picking them up. But like, if you get things rolling, like if you're picking up ammo, using it to destroy environments, then blowing up staggered enemies, you can really just kind of keep the ball going. We got physics projectile that detonates with a moderate explosion. This is a projectile mod. I think I've got enough of those, honestly. Having a optic wouldn't be a bad thing. And you know what, I gotta say, the fact that I would be willing to take a common mod over a rare one also, I think, speaks volume to the design of the game. This is a body mod. Okay. Adds additional execution to the modification in the adjacent right slot. Disables 2 adjacent slots. Okay, interesting. I don't know, that we could put it there and that's fine. We need to put an execution slot over here if we can. I don't think I have an execution slot. Objects thrown with gravity tether will inflict electricity. We love it. And yeah, this progression system, like the way you modify your weapon and kind of make decisions, like there's some immediate game-changing stuff with that. There's a little bit of strategy in how you like place things on your weapon. I don't know, it's just fun and it's just cool. Like all of the mods I've seen have been fairly interesting. But like, dang, if this isn't like a gorgeous looking game, I gotta say, it is stupidly pretty. And I actually quite like the aesthetic as well. It's got this kind of like control vibe. And yeah, I mean, it's not totally original, but like, it's good. I think the execution is there. Some of this level design is also just like really well done. Wondering where the enemies are. Oh, they're over there. Oh, is that a baddie? Or like a big bad? Yeah, it is. So this is this guy's got some hurts on him. I don't know what you want to call him, some kind of anomalous character, but he's got some extra moves. Didn't mean to do that, but that's okay. We staggered him and we even got the kill on the stagger. And that's gonna fill up our ammo because we used up quite a lot there. Those guys are a little bit brutal because you can't really make up a lot of ammo. These crates really have kind of like a Borderlands effect, I gotta say. We just picked up some meta progression points, unlocks, yeah, and that's another meta progression point. I wonder if we can combine these corrosive shots. Probably not. Body mod, weapon damage always critical for duration after using an ability. We love it. I love that. That's just really cool. It's really cool, and then it gets you to like actually incentivizes you to use the tools in your arsenal. It's just so much more interesting to me than like, oh, 5% fire damage, you know, like Yeah, there's a time and place for that for sure. It can be good, it can be fun, but I've seen it enough times that I'd rather see like kind of cascading mods, and you know, preferably, at least this is my preference, I'd much prefer to see mods that have like interesting benefits rather than like big benefits and also like major negatives. Like I've mentioned this in other roguelike type games, but I'm really not a huge fan of the trend of like, oh, you get like plus 10%, but you also lose 5% in like all other stats. It's like, come on, bud. It just doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. Deal damage relative to current ammo and magazine. An empty magazine will deal minimal damage. Okay, so full magazine will have high damage output. That's really kind of neat, actually. Adds additional execution, objects thrown with gravity tethering. Okay, let's grab this. This is, well, actually, never mind. We can't afford that. I'm actually going to save my money. Well, we've got some more currency here. I wonder if we could get enough. No. Oh, maybe. We're 6 short of getting that cool ammo thing. Those kind of rails, by the way, they're not just like arbitrarily in the game. There are moments to use them in levels. No access to ability. I mean, that's fine. We don't actually have an ability, so that's just a free get for us. Oh, we've got another low gravity. I can't believe I missed. I want to get rid of that guy as quickly as possible. I love these ring attacks. The fact that we can see them through the stage is like really cool. Also very good for like readability. Like you want to be able to see that kind of stuff through this stage. You wouldn't want to like take damage from that. Like, oops, you know what I mean? Like you wouldn't want to like step out from cover and then suddenly get hit by that. So it's kind of cool that you can see that. Ooh, that's a new attack. I haven't seen that one before. When the enemy count gets low, it'll show you where everyone is, so you don't have to go hunting. It's just, I don't know, everything in this game feels, and it just feels good. It feels good. Everything feels good. Everything works like flawlessly. It all looks amazing. And I find that to be kind of astounding. First of all, I generally have fairly like not great experiences with like the roguelike shooter thing. Oh, we have to equip our site. There we go. I've played a lot of them, and I don't know. Maybe it's just a me thing, but I generally don't like them. I'm generally not a huge fan of roguelite shooters. I don't know if I just have had bad experiences. We have another spark breaker. I don't know what happens if I pick up another one of these. Increased reload time is also really nice. Repeater effects increases chance to inflict elemental status. Okay, yeah. Okay, so the fact that there's a reason to equip more than one is really nice. Throw this down here and then swap those around. I wonder if this will affect both. Probably not. Yeah, oh my god, that's like so much bigger now. Creates arcs of fire between 2 projectiles. Adds a small floating red dot sight to weapon. Sure, why not? Opens any slot in a 2-slot vicinity to the right of this slot. Guess we can do like that. Yeah, there we go. Let's see the red dot. Oh, I guess I have to equip it. Yeah, there we go. We got a red dot, floating red dot. Kind of nice actually, but we don't have as much zoom in. So this is our ×2. And yeah, we have quite a bit more zoom in with that. Gonna switch back to normal ammo so I stop wasting our good stuff. Greatly increases reload duration. I mean, that sucks, but I'm gonna do it. Those floating boxes tend to have some good stuff in them. Okay, we want to get some ammo so we can go back to this weapon. And honestly, let's like blow up some walls. Oh, that whole building is ripe. Oh, heck yeah, bud. I don't know, this game is like super satisfying. So I think, honestly, I'm gonna say it, I think this is one of the best like roguelite shooters, best attempt at a roguelike shooter that I've maybe ever played. Everything about it just works for me. That was a bunch of dudes we just killed. We got marked enemies explode on death. Marked enemies. Sure, marked enemies. I'm not sure how we're gonna use that. Adds 3-round bursts. I got this in my first playthrough and it was amazing, so we're gonna grab it now. And that is just basically a benefit. Like, yes, it uses more ammo, but also you're just shooting faster. How close are we? We're getting to the end of our first zone here, and the demo covers the first zone. This is just the demo, so actually this is not even just the demo. This is the playtest. All right, here's our boss. Let's make sure we've got all of our ducks in a row here. We're not gonna have a lot of chances to get more ammo here, but we're just still gonna want to do as much damage as we can. The only problem with this fire mode is it's going to be really hard to actually hit the boss with it. Maybe it's actually the wrong one. Maybe when we want to use the fire instead. That seems to do way more damage. So there's our first win, and yes, I do mean first win because you have to kill this guy 3 times. I'm not a huge fan of the boss fake out. I think if it's got 3 phases, I guess the benefit of the 3 phases is that they do drop a little bit of health between phases. There's our second phase. We are doing actually like great damage, and we also seem to be doing burn damage, so the fire was a good choice, I think. I haven't been using my grenades either. You hardly touch your salt lick. Ah, the fact that he can zip around means grenades are almost pointless. And there's our first boss beaten. And yeah, I mean, I think this playtest is actually pretty easy, but I find that to be really encouraging if I'm being real. It's kind of nice that, like, I feel like, I don't know, all of the things are in the benefit of the player instead of the entire game feeling like a slog. Like I have to fight for my life at every stage. It's kind of nice to feel powerful for once, you know? And we're gonna move on to our next zone. Spoilers, there is no next zone, but that's Voidbreaker. I definitely want to cover this again when it comes out. I really like this, and I definitely encourage you, if you can try and get into the playtest, I really encourage you to try the demo. It's really fun. This is my second go at it, and it's still really fun. There's so many different mods that really meaningfully change the game and actually like give you major benefits. It almost feels a little bit, I know this is gonna come across as strong, but it almost feels like a shooter mixed with like Noita. Like the way you mix and match mods and modify your gun has that kind of Noita feeling of having some really big ramifications and a lot of depth, and you do have to kind of puzzle it out a little bit, but it's just really cool. It's really fun, like slotting in mods and seeing how it affects your gun. But yeah, that's Voidbreaker. If you've played it, let me know what you thought of it in the comments, and if you enjoyed this, definitely hit the like button. Consider subscribing for more content like this. I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.